Dana White gave some insight into the UFC card that they plan on doing at the White House next year. Did a great interview here with Robbie Fox of Barstool. We're going to watch a little clip from this, and you can read the headline there, basically saying it'll be a full card. It'll be the best card we'd ever done to date. And we'll just watch a little bit of this clip, but a little bit of insight into this White House card, which the UFC, by the sounds of this clip, are going to be pitching this to President Donald Trump and his team next week. Let's have a listen.
So I'm up at my house like every year in Maine at 4th of July. And I had texted with him 3 or 4 times that day, and he never told me he was announcing it. And then all of a sudden, my phone just starts blowing up. And then I start blowing Lene up, and we're all going.
Lene's the PR girl for UFC.
But we had already done, all the logistics. My team went out there and walked it. We're putting together the renderings. They should be done in the next 10 days. And then we're going to fly out to the White House and present it to him, see what he likes and what he doesn't like, and start working on it. And Ivanka is in the middle of this too. So we will, this is a Sphere, one of one unique event that will never happen again. And I will blow the doors off this thing. I'm going to make this one of the greatest events of all time.
And are you thinking a full card, like full prelims, full main card, or just like a couple fights?
Nope. It'll be a full card, and it will be the best card we've ever done to date.
Wow. And we're talking on the lawn of the White House?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as of right now, it's set to be on the South Lawn. He said we can move it over somewhere else for more people. I don't care if 5 people show up to this thing. I want to be on the lawn at the White House. Right.
So yeah, there you have it. Dana White is serious about this thing. And like you mentioned there, it'll be like the Sphere where it'll be kind of a one-off event. I'm curious to see how this is all going to work out, because remember they did UFC 300 last year where they had basically a main event for every fight. And unfortunately, the only bad thing about this is every card sort of after that, there were certain cards that suffered when they try and stack cards like this. So I think the idea is cool. The other thing I wonder is the timing of this, because this is supposed to be July 4th. That would be after International Fight Week. You notice the last couple of years, International Fight Week has been sort of, taking place at the end of June. It used to be first week of July. So that card's got to be good. I wonder if they're just going to scrap a card for an International Fight Week. I can't see them doing that, because that's sort of an annual event they do. They have the expo, they have the jiu-jitsu stuff as well. So I'm really curious to see how this works out and how they pull this off. But like I've said before, because of the UFC schedule, they really handcuff themselves to make good cards like this. Like obviously UFC 300 turned out great, but I do wonder the effects of this if they are going to make kind of another stack card like this. What are the cards around it going to look like? We saw, I think it was the Brazil card after UFC 300. Wasn't a great pay-per-view. I think you're going to see more of that here, but I am curious to see what the UFC comes up with. But Dana White sounds serious. And again, I know people will be like, oh, this is old news. Well, this is the first time Dana's been like, hey, I'm going to make a pitch to President Trump and see what happens. So I think it's really interesting if it does end up happening. And we know the Sphere event was sort of a marquee thing. We'll see how this kind of all unfolds, but something to keep an eye on for sure. And I'm sure we'll get some news as to, the finalizing the card. And they got a year to do it. So really curious to see how this all sort of pans out here with them doing fights on the lawn at the White House. Should be very interesting. So I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. What do you think of this idea? Do you kind of agree with me though, that like some of the other cards will suffer because they're trying to stack this event? That's sort of what happened last year with UFC 300. Let me know what you think of this whole thing. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, @Lynch on Sports. My name is James Lynch. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.